Welcome to Camperline UK, I'm Matt Cooper. I plan to convert this Volkswagen Transporter 2021 plate, it's the T6.1 model. I plan to convert this into a campervan on my own with no experience at all. I've given myself a time frame of 6 weeks to get this van converted and on the road before I head all the way up to the top of Scotland for an epic trip around the Highlands. So if you want to follow along, make sure to hit that subscribe button because it's one you're not going to want to miss. Right, so I'm back home and the plan for today is I've got a problem. I've got deadlocks on the side door and I've got a deadlock on this rear door here. So I need to figure out, because I'm going to be having windows on the back and I'm going to be having a window on this panel. So I need to figure out what I'm actually going to do with these deadlocks because, well, there's going to be a hole there. And these, if you can see, they go behind the door. So I've got to figure something out with them, so that's going to be fun. So let's get to it. I've come inside mainly because it started chucking it down outside. The plan for today, currently on the van, I've got a deadlock on the side door and I've got a deadlock on the rear door. And unfortunately, these are placed in the cutouts of the van, right where the windows need to go. So I need to figure out how to remove the deadlocks and how I'm actually going to patch the door in. Because I know the window is going to cover it, but I do need it sealed, so whether that's tack a bit of metal on and fill it, whether it's put some on with panel adhesive or weld it, there's got to be a way to do it. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But main thing today is I need to actually get some stuff ordered because we've got nothing ordered yet. I need to order my windows and I need to order my soundproofing and insulation. So yeah, I've got to get them going. I've had a look. I think I'm going with the Camper Gear windows. I'm gonna have a window on the sliding door that has a little sliding window that can open. One on the opposite side of the van on the driver's side. That's also going to be a sliding window. Mainly because of cost, I can't have one that folds all the way out, but I can have a sliding one, and I want that there because I'm going to have a little gas hob and a sink. And then in the back doors, I'm going to have a window on both the back doors and cut them out. All going to be tinted, so they will look good. So I need to get them ordered. Then I also need to get the sound deadening, insulation, sound absorption all ordered. And then once I've done that, I can start to rip out the existing paneling in the van and remove the bulkhead. And from what I've seen from removing the bulkhead, there's going to be some metal trim that I'm going to have to grind off or knock off with an SDS or something just to try and remove it. So yeah, we've got a lot to do. First ever time converting a van, so this is going to be fun. So right, so I'm sat here and I've been speaking to customer service on Camper Glass, and I tell you what, their customer service is actually pretty good for their chatbot. Put me through to someone straight away and just explained what I was after. Didn't have an order number because I haven't ordered anything, and spoke to them and they told me exactly what I needed, so that is a bonus. So the total is coming to £503 including VAT, and for that £503 what I'm getting is I'm getting a set of barn doors privacy glass, a pair of them for £120, 2 double window fitting kits, which is everything you need for fit them minus the masking tape, sliding door on the drive. Well, sorry, I'm gonna have a sliding window on the driver's side. That's also privacy glass, which looks like this. They've got a photo of it. One of them. That's on the sliding door, obviously, but I'm having that'll be on the driver's side, and then also I'm having it on the passenger side, same as that. So then if I go back, so I'm having one of them for the driver's side, one on for the passenger side on the sliding door, and then a kit for the U-trim for the rear barn doors and 2 sets for the side doors. All that U-trim is basically it just goes over the edge of cut and it just helps seal the window, gives it a nicer finish on the inside. Now I need to look for all the soundproofing and insulation, so it's going to be fun.
If you still need to speak to a member of our sales team, please hold.
Hi, I'm trying to make an order on your website for some windows for my van, but every time I get to basket it just crashes and then it just reloads, wipes the basket, and it just keeps doing the same thing.
Oh, that's really strange.
I've tried it on my phone and my computer, both of them just keep doing the same thing. Right, okay, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah, perfect.
Cheers.
No worries at all.
Bye. Bye.
Brilliant. Cheers, thank you. Bye.
Basically what's happening is every time I go onto the website, it freezes, I fill the basket up and it'll freeze, and then it'll reload, and then it won't work, then it won't let me on the website. It's just, I'll show you what's happening here. It's crap. I had everything ready to order it, and then now it's just like, if I go onto here, Right, look, it works. Go on to shop. Yep, all working. Right, I want these. Add to basket. And it'll just sit like this for ages. But I can't do anything else. That's what I'm up against. That's what I'm up against. And then also I'm trying to figure out what sort of stuff I actually need to do the soundproofing. So for the sound, oh, it's bloody eBay crap. It's absolutely signing me out. I'm not winning here. I've just gone to click my basket and it's just signing me out. But then it takes like 15 minutes to sign in, so do it on my phone. In my basket, I've got 40 sheets of sound deadening and 2 spray cans of contact adhesive, because I'm going to have to soundproof and insulate it as well. I'm trying to get the soundproof and insulation stuff as well as the windows, because then I can sort of knock that out as one job. So if I can actually get through and order these today, it's a successful day for me. Right, orders being made. That's 633 quid I'll never see again. Can I just say, I look really happy after making that purchase. Just scroll down, so that's, yeah, what I've ordered is fixed barn windows, privacy glass. On the driver's side, I've got a sliding window coming, privacy glass. I've got my 2 trims for both the side windows. I've got my trim for the back windows. I've got 2 window fitting kits. I've got some Van Thermo liner. Then I've got the EcoFleece recyclable insulation 100mm, and I've got a rolling 50mm. And then I've also got a fixed window on the passenger side, and that's also privacy glass, coming out with postage. I paid £21.50 for postage. That's come out with a total of £633.13. Well, there's no going back now, is there? Includes £105.51 of VAT. You robbing. Best start stripping the van then, eh? Now I need to order some sound deadening and spray glue off eBay, because that was about 20 quid cheaper. So yeah. First job of the day, now that the windows are ordered and insulation's ordered, is all this plywood in here. It's trade ply, comes from standard for when you buy the van. It's like an added extra, a lot of garages will add it. It's to take that off, and there'll also be some boards underneath it which I've got to pop off. But once I've done that, I've got to try and remove the rear, well, not the rear, the bulkhead. It comes out in 2 pieces. There's a bit of plastic trim that you've got to pop off in the top of the cab. I haven't got a proper tool, but I've got a motorbike bike lever, so hopefully that'll do the job. The first piece of plywood I'm going to be getting out is the wheel arches, both sides, and as you can see, these are held on just by 2 Posi 2 bits, screws, sorry. So, remove them, there you go, trying to do this left hand here. To remove them, all they are is self-tappers, effectively, straight into the wheel arch. So these are going to be little holes that I'm going to have to go around and rivet shut. So I'm going to get these off first, then go for these bigger panels either side, stuff off the sliding door, back doors, then we can get the floor out, and then we can focus on the bulkhead. Right, so these panels I've just taken off, so let's get these out. Just make sure that doesn't fall off. Make sure don't drop the screws on the floor. Don't fancy a punchy. Always close your screw boxes. You don't want someone to pick them up, do you? Screws go everywhere. Right, that panel's off, wheel arches are off. Should we go for that one next? That can go on Facebook. So that's all of these panels now out. So Floor's the next job. I'm getting a bit warm. Just taking my coat off and now I feel cold. So let's get this floor out, eh? Don't need you yet. So we've got these metal trims here. So let's get them off first. Of course it's rounded off and the head's full of crap. Try this one. That one's come. This one will. Oh, that middle one's going to be a pain in the arse now. But luckily it's not fixed or anything. Boom. And we've got another one of these trims down this end that we need to get out. Oh, there's the emergency release. There we go. These heads are full of crap. Full of crap. There we go. Oh, 2p. Quids in, eh? I'm quite excited to see what's going to be under this floor because I found a lot of crap just around the van when I brought it. So, wonder what's going to be under it. In fact, there we go. Straight up. That's only 12mm. To be fair, that isn't too bad under there. I was expecting worse. I have stripped a van before, a Volkswagen Caddy that I used to have. I took the bulkhead out of that, but a bit bigger, isn't it? This. Wow, that's it. 1 row of screws down the middle. Like 8 screws. No, what was it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 screws holding the flooring. Talk about being efficient, eh? Oh, that side's pretty clean in all fairness. Just a bit of crap down that corner, but we'll get to that. Right, so that is all of these panels off the van. So, as you can see, let's have a look at this. It's not too dirty in all honesty. It is missing, I've just noticed, missing the trim that's supposed to go onto here. So, I'm going to have to sort some for that, but yeah. It's looking pretty good. Right, so I've got to get all this clean now. I'm going to go through, pick all the screws up, put them in an auto tub, because I'll just knock them on the drive and drive over them otherwise. So I've got to get all the screws and just all the general crap out. Just get it clean, basically. Right, so obviously we've got like that to come off, but God knows what that is. That'll be expanding glue. It says it'll be that D4 expanding glue. Bloody nightmare, eh? Right, let's see. I know this isn't the best tool for it, but it's rounded, so it's not going to scratch as much. Oh, I might go get a proper scraper in a second. Is it glass? No. That is going to be a pain. Let's get that off. Go on. There we go. To be fair, that is the only. I'm going to get hoovered out and then we'll have another look. We got power? Have we, Jack? Dust extractor set up. Let's get cleaning. Putting my other earphone in. If I'm going to go deaf, I'm going deaf to something I like listening to. Any of you wondering? Bosh. Well, it's far from perfect, but definitely a hell of a lot better than it was. They can't hear me. Definitely a lot better than it was. It's still far from perfect. Got to get that crap out the corner. I need to somehow pop that off and just clean underneath there, and then I can start getting these panels out. Wish me luck. Ooh, what's this? Oh, that's pretty cool how that works, to be fair. That's from the racking that was in it when I brought it. Yeah, it's just one this side. Wow, that is actually a pretty neat idea for getting behind panels. Save that. Right, I want to see how I actually open this up, because that is just full of crap. And that one. See if that'll suck out. How the hell is that stuck in? Ah, it's a screw, I think. Ooh, that piece has actually come a little bit. Oh wow, some crap under that. Come on. Let's just try and smack that into it. Not having it. To be fair, that might just snap. There we go. Oh, it didn't snap, it just took the bottom of the thing out, but that is absolutely amazing. I'm glad I took that out. Oh my god. Sorted. Right, so that is the base of the van, majority clean apart from this little corner, but I might get some white spirits or something on that just to take it off and make it a bit easier. So let's have a look at the van. Oh, I tell you what, my legs are sore. Right, so next job, pretty much clean. We need to get these grey panels off on the inside, and these have little plastic, little push rivets almost, and you can get a tool to put under and pop them off. We've probably got one somewhere, but I'm just going to be using a screwdriver because I'm not going to be reusing them, and if I do get some more, they're going to be to match the carpet that I have in here, so let's get them off, eh? Just thought I'd show you the first one, and all I'm going to be doing to get them off is getting that screwdriver. It's just a flathead. Hey up. That wasn't a good way of showing you, but yeah, just working it up from underneath like that. Just pulling them out like that. Piece of cake. Just as I take this last panel off, I'm going to show you what to do here, because that's an electronic switch and it's going to be, there you go, and it's going to be connected to the mechanism. So if we take that off, as you can see, that's connected. All you've got to do, if I can find the thing, where's it now? There we go. Is just disconnect the actual. Do it and hopefully you can see. Oh wow. There we go, it's got a little button. Flick that, and that comes straight out. Then we're going to save that. All them are out now, so bulkhead time, innit? I was looking, I'm going to have to get or order some M10 what this spleen, some spleen bits and M10 for all these mounts that are on the floor, just so I can get the bolts out. And I'm going to need it for when I do the seats anyway, because I'm going to be putting a swivel base on the passenger side. So yeah, let's get these out. Right, I'm going to go around and remove all these little brackets. So let's go. That was a beefy bolt for in there. To take the bulkhead out, I've got to get this trim off here because there's going to be a few nuts that I need to get out from up there, and then I can do the rest from the back. So let's give that a crack. From what I've seen online, there's going to be a little plastic thing in here to pop out. Yeah, it's there, like that. So I've just got to go all the way across. I think there's 4 of them. There's another one. None of them broke, touch wood. Now I can get to them. And I bet, T30. I should have one of them. Got me T30 bit, and is it? Oh, spot on. So, get these taken out. Should be 4 of these as well. Simple that headrest down. Sweet. Right, so that's them out. We'll save them for now and get to the ones on the inside. Nice. We open this. Let a bit of lighting. So I'm gonna have to take off these 10mm. I think the 10mm nuts first, and then I can just go around the outside. Well, they're all 10mm, and then take them off basically. So I'm hoping they haven't damaged the back of the seats there. We'll find out. I meant to get an adapter, half-inch adapter for my impact, but I didn't, did I? Because I was panicking about ordering all the windows. The reason I'm going through the middle first is purely because, I don't know actually. I just thought I'd do the middle, and then at least it separates the pieces for when I take the top bolts out. Don't know if that's going to be easier or worse, but we'll find out. Right, get them off. Tell you what, these come off beautifully. Some good engineering and a good torque spec, that is VW. So there's 4 nuts down this side that we need to take off, and I might do them all, but leave the top 2 corners in. That's something I need to order, the swivel base for the passenger seat, because when I take the 2 seats out to do this, I may as well have it ready to passenger seat back in. Right, so that is loose, minus the top 2. Feels solid, but feels loose at the same time. If that, just whilst trying to prop it up so it doesn't drop. Right, it's going. Right, that's the nuts just given, so that's off, and the best top. So top half of the bulkhead should. What are you stuck on? Right, so this end's got to go up. We're out. Oh no! A little hole in there. Oh, and there. Ripped the back of my seats. That's going to be a seat cover job then, isn't it? Bloody hell. This is one open van. Let's get this out. We've got 6 weeks, as of today, to get this done, and then I'm going up Scotland in it. I'm going to do a big road trip in it, get some sweet photos of it, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing then. There's a plastic, oh, some crap down the back of there, eh? Set this out. Right, get some of this crap out. I know when I brought this van, oh, it's a fork, something. Oh, I thought they'd left me a window. Bit of paper, oh, a pen, and my wham. Tell you what, there's some crap under it. When I brought this van, there must have been about 3,000 pistachio shells down underneath the driver's seat. So the bloke who had this, obviously, like pistachio. Oh my God, I'm gonna get the Hoover on that. Some crap down there. That's just, that annoys me. That annoys me. Can I, back of the seat, eh? That one's fine. It's that there where they've ripped it, but so this is like where it proper gets real, isn't it? Shit gets real. So just sat in the van I paid all my life savings for, spending everything I've got left to do it into a camper van. But I have no idea what I'm doing, if I'm honest. So I mean I do, but I just want to do it. So I'm here. Right. I suppose that trim can go back on, but I'm going to have to try and get them off. I need to get, so I can't get them off. I'm pretty much up to the stage where I've got materials for now, so I'm going to need pot riveters, some rivets, got some drill bits for drilling them holes, and I need some primer. I need an M10 spline bit to take all these brackets off, take the spouts off to get to these trims. I'm going to have to get a something to break these tack welds off with, whether it be angle grinder or what. I need to take these seats out. I need to get a rotating base for the passenger side seat. And then we can start insulating. And windows. Tell you what, I'm not going to enjoy cutting them. I'm going to have to do that with a jigsaw. Well, that's what life's for, doing. So, yeah. Today's the day I finally start cutting. So the bulkhead brackets are getting cut out today. I've just ordered a DeWalt angle grinder, and I've got to go and collect that. I've got to pot rivet the floor. I've got to drill out some spot welds. So it's a big day for the van, and I still need to order the swivel base for the passenger side seat. So let's get to screw fix. See you in a bit, doggo. I've just had a message now. Screwfix orders ready to collect, and DH Express. Something's getting delivered today between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and then also I've got some
Surprise, motherfucker!
That's my tool station. And also I've got some getting delivered tomorrow between 11 and 3 by Royal Mail. So the windows and stuff are coming. So it's getting real. Roll. Yeah, I've got the emergency, well, bloody hell, number plate light out now. I've got the SOS button, that one, the battery's gone, which is a common fault on these 2021 plates, so that's getting sorted by the garage. I've had it off. I'm taking this in on the 4th of April, which is in like 2 days, so let's get rolling. Right, let's have a look what we've got. So we've got the DeWalt XR brushless angle grinder. That was on sale in Tool Station for £114. I've got a pack of 10 just cutting discs, they're 1mm thick, and I've got a flat disc, it's 80 grit, and I'm going to be using that just to sand off any bits, or when I cut the windows out of the panels, just to sand it straight. Couldn't get hold of any spot weld drill bits because I don't fancy driving 40 minutes to go get a £5 drill bit. I've got some HSS bits, so I'm going to try them, but knowing my life, I've just made my life 10 times harder, so let's get cracking. So the plan for today, basically, where I moved the bulkhead from yesterday, there's this trim all the way around the bottom half of the van, and I've got to get that out. So I've been to Screwfix today, got myself an angle grinder, chuffed about that. To be fair, it's really nice angle grinder. I think it was 115 quid, then obviously that's a body only. But basically, to get them out, I've got to take the passenger side seat out, the driver's side seat out, pull the floor back, take the handbrake cover off, and then I've got to cut the welds that are across the bottom to get the bottom piece out, and then up the sides I've got to take the seat belt off, I've got to take the trims off, then I can unbolt the top section, then the bottom section has got these little spot welds in. So ideally I needed a spot weld drill bit, but I couldn't get one, so I'm going to be trying it with a HSS bit first, and if that doesn't work, then we'll move on to something else. And then once that's done, all these little holes in all the floors I need to paint with some rust resistant paint, ammonite or something, and pot rivet them all shut. So that's the mission for today. I don't know how far we're going to get, but also at around 3:30 to 5:30 today, I've got a delivery coming, so I don't know if that's the windows, the insulation, or what it is. Something's coming, and then between 11 and 3 tomorrow, we've got another one coming, so let's get cracking, eh? First job on the list, I'm going to try and get this passenger seat out, because I don't think there's as much wiring in it. There is some under the seat. There is some wiring under the seat, which I've got to remove. It's different compared to every van you've got, because what specification it is, obviously. So there's some bolts on the floor, and then the whole thing should come out I'm going to try and video this best I can. I do have to bear in mind that I'm filming inside a cab, so there isn't much room. Right, let's get the sockets out. I don't know what size they are. What the hell's that? No idea. But, size that. No, it's obviously not 19. It's going to be 17 mil, I think. It's not even 17. 15. No, 16. That's the one. So I'm going to get that on an extension bar and start cracking them loose. Right, that one's out. I don't know if there's... Yeah, there's one down there, so I need to get this plastic trim off. I'm hoping that just pulls off. Probably won't, but... No, there's a screw from there, from somewhere. It's screwed on. Don't know. Let's get the rest of them out first. Tell you what, that's coming off nice and easy. That's coming off nice and easy, so I'm going to save them bolts. Bang them in there. Then they're not going to go anywhere. I've got one down this corner, but I need to figure out how to get this plastic cover off. Right, I presume you just pull it off. I'm going to get something behind that. Right, I'm going to get this bar in and just hope that'll pry it. There we go, nice and easy. And look at the crap under there. Then we can get to that last nut. What we got to disconnect now is this wiring basically, and I'm hoping it just pulls out of them brackets. That's fixed down there. Right, so the seat is actually loose now. No way of removing that, is there? That'd have been nice. Right, I'm going to undo that. So this wiring that's in here, I need to get rid of the brackets and I need to put that under the flooring for when I get the swivel base. I haven't yet ordered one. I meant to order one last night but didn't end up getting round to it. So I'm going to have to do that tonight and get that coming out as soon as possible. So I need to unclip them, get rid of that plastic bracket. And then there's none on there, is there? That's loose, that's a fuse. I think that's a fuse to the to the cigarette lighter, that one. So now they're loose, so this seat should, in theory, lift out. Right, so I'm hoping this seat's just gonna... So we are loose and have to lift him, aren't I? There we go. Right, need to make sure I don't get this wiring cut now. We're free. Right, I'm going to stand this up out there. I can see 5p. Cool, man. Right, we've got so much crap under there. I'm going to get that back one out, but I've got to disconnect the handbrake. So I've got to get the driver's one out, but I'm going to have to disconnect that handbrake. So I don't really know how that one comes out. Let's have a look, eh? There's going to be a bolt in each four corners. I'm probably going to have to get to them from underneath. And there's a wire here that I need to disconnect. So that's going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. Let's just start undoing, eh? Should be able to take them out now. Right, that's 3 of them out. That 4th one's a bit stuck. Sweet. That's all 4 of them. Oh, put them in safe for the rest of them. So that is not loose at all. That is. So I need to get this fixing from the ham. Before I do that, because I'll forget, I need to get this little wire out. The wire I'm getting out is just the sensor for the driver's seat. Right, seat's disconnected. It's just going to be popping this. That is zip tied on. Get a pair of snips. So I need to cut this zip tie under here without cutting the cable. And I'll tell you what, I can't see Andy's zip tied on bloody well. We're out, done. Job well done, and the bloody scrap man's coming any Naff off. Try to take this handbrake out and we'll put it in gear, eh? That'll be a good start. And we've stopped. Right. Part of the handbrake cover off. Need to try, there we go, get the boot off. And now, that's going to be bolted in. I don't like the look of this. I might have to go and put, I will. I'm going to go and put some bricks under the wheels. If I take that off, we're not going to go anywhere, touch wood. Do you know what? I'm really not looking forward to this, but something's got to be done. That one's out. I'm going to put them in the centre cup holder. I don't know where they are. Let's just try and get that out first. There we go. Handbrake is out, and now the seat is loose. Let's get the seat out. Wow, that's a heavy seat. Oh. Whew. Let's get this thing out without causing too much damage. Now we've got no seats. Sweet. Right, look at the amount, it's just crap here. I might have to get the Hoover out. Didn't want to, but if I can give it a pretty decent brush without inhaling too much of it. There's chewing gum and bloody everything here. And I'm not going to worry about getting the wires sorted yet because I haven't got the spinning base. So once I've got that, once that arrives, then I'll focus on getting them sorted. But I just need this relatively clean. I don't fancy working in this. Right, so the next bit, I'm going to take these seat belts off and get this trim off, and this trim off. Then we can start going at the metal, but I've also got to pull the floor back, maybe take these out. Quite a bit to go at. So first one I'm going to take off is this here. That's M10. That's an M10 bolt. And these are just the bottom of the seat belts. So I'm going to take this off both sides, and then I'm going to pop the cap off the top and take the top one. Slightly different location for the second one, but let's get this out. Tell you what, I'm impressed by how easy these come out. Don't want to lose the bolts. So I'm just going to pop that off from behind and undo this top bolt. To be fair, that might even be an M12. It's come off fine though in an M10. So, let's take that out. Tell you what, you don't realise how dirty the cab of these vans are until you start taking them apart. It's just dirt everywhere. Right, we'll save that again. So now, I need to try and get this trim off, and it should just pull off in theory without breaking it. Just like that. Right, so now I'm going to take this trim off, same as the other side, and it should just, if I can get it, pull right out. Just like that. Right, so this panel 1 bolt, first we need to get these off, and I'm sure, could be wrong, but I'm sure they should pull off as well. And there we go. So the panel's out. Let's get the other side. Pull the second bottom trim out. And yeah, I tell you what, it's not fun pulling these. That is my least favourite thing in the world now. I Look how dirty they are. All these panels before they go in, obviously, all behind here, all going to get cleaned. Not putting dirty panels back in. So now, I need to pull this floor back, basically, which shouldn't be too big of a task. But I could do with, I don't know how these go on. I'm just going to pull them like everything else on this van. Yeah. That was easy. Sweet, easy. Right, so fingers crossed. Oh, that's gonna, that might stop me. What are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're about 5 threads down, so as long as I can remember it, I can readjust it, eh? Handbrake unit is out, and we're gonna have to keep that safe again. Right, push these through. Let's push all these brackets through, and then we can pull that floor back now. Right, that floor can come right the way back like that now. I'm going to get a bit of weight on there to hold that back. Let's put that on there like that, and now that will not be going anywhere. Right, that'll do. I'm not trying to give it the utmost biggest clean in the world because I'm going to have to clean it again in a minute once I've started cutting. So first off, I'm going to get these black trims off. Then I'm going to work my way down and I'm going to try and drill out these spot welds. Then I've got to start cutting for this. Right, the first bracket I'm going to take off are these corner ones because they come off the easiest. They're just on a 10mm bolt. That's all that's holding them on. So we can take them off nice and easy first, and then we'll get to the hard bit. Same for the other side. And now this one, same process again, just 3 nice and easy bolts just to take out. And that'll come out like a piece of cake. Sweet, and once you've taken that out, you're going to have your piece of metal and your 3 bolts, so not going to need them anymore. So for the next part, I'm going to have to remove these strips and the one across the bottom. And on these strips, all they've got is a little tiny tack welds and rivets. So what I'm going to attempt first, I've seen people grind them off and I've seen people snap them off with mole grips for weakening them. I'm going to have a go at just drilling them with like an 8mm HSS bit. So all I'm going to attempt to do is drill out these rivets. I've got about a 6mm bit and that's the biggest HSS bit I've actually got. So that's one. Well, that's the rivet gone, but not the tack welds. I mean, that should. That's going to do it, that is. So, just got to go through these and make sure I don't hit any cables. I'm not going to go all the way through with that because I don't know if there's anything on the bottom. So, I'm going to get a pair of mole grips and just try and snap it off. Right, so got my mole grips. Somewhat going. Right, we've got some of it off. That's not what I wanted, but it's only thin. Wow. This side. Let's go again. Oh, Jesus. That's not fun. That's really not fun. That's the side pieces just about off. Now I've got to get the bottom one off, and to get the bottom one off, I'm going to have to cut these little welds. Don't want the I don't want the bits of metal, the sparks, to go on the glass or any of the plastic or the exterior paintwork, or it's going to damage anything. So I'm going to get everything properly sheeted up, and then there is only one that isn't even attached, and then there's another 4 welds that I've got to cut, and then I can hopefully just bend it and snap it off. No, might not look the greatest, but everything's somewhat protected. The more tells I've got, the less it's going to go flying everywhere. So I'm going to cut and go in sparks that way, which isn't ideal. I prefer them go this way, but stops them going out the van. So let's move the stuff out the way. We can start cutting. When you're doing this, make sure you've got some PPE. I'm just going to be using ear defenders and glasses. Really, you want a full face mask and gloves and that, but stupid, aren't I? So I need to get in here, so really I'm going to have to cut this way, which isn't what I wanted to do, but that one hasn't caught, so it's just this one first. Right, they are way up. They're somewhat cut now, so put the angle grinder aside. To be fair, what's the battery on? Right, the battery's only on 1, but I did think that would have a bit more power. I'll have to try it with the flexible battery on. Now, let's try and get this out. I'm just going to go for trying to wriggle it out again, basically, because it has got welds both sides. This weld didn't even catch when they've done it in the factory. So I've got to say, well done, VW. It saved me a bit of work. See if I'll just open them up. Surely that's got it now. Surely that's got it. That looks like it's welded all the way through to me. So we'll start one end and we're going to work our way back then. We're getting there now, we're getting there. Right, let's have a crack from the other end now. And get these ones out. Yes! It's out. What a difficult piece of metal. Jesus. Give this base a coat. Sweet, that'll do. You know what? I'm having a brew. I think it's well deserved after that. And then we can get on to cleaning all of them panels, because they're going to take a while. So, yeah. I was just walking around and I was like, I wish I had somewhere to sit down, and then I realised I've got my passenger side and driver's side seat out. So, whew, knackered. So, what I need to do is clean these seats, clean the trim off whilst that primer's drying, because that takes about 2 hours. Then I can start putting everything else back in. I'm going to fix the seats back in. I'm going to put the trim can go back in anyway, but I'm going to fix the seats back where they are. The driver's side will be staying as it is. The passenger side will be coming out again. There's a fly in my brew. The passenger side will be coming out again because it'll be having a swivel base on it, but I haven't ordered one yet. So I'm just going to put it back in and it will have to come back out. And the wiring, I'm going to leave as it is because I'm not messing with any of that yet. So big job around, and then we can go around and start riveting and the rust prevention and that. So productive day, and I'm hoping the windows are supposed to be coming today, so that'll be a good one. So the next job before I put these trims back in, I'm going to clean them. I've just got some, it's not elbow grease, it's fair liquid and water, cloth and a brush, and I'm just going to go over all the trims, agitate them with the brush and wipe the dirt off with the cloth. So got quite a few to do, so let's get started. Can't do anything without the tunes, obviously. Right, my camera's just cut off. I've lost like half an hour worth of footage, but it was just going to be a time lapse for me. I've just cleaned all the trims, and I'm just going to move on to the seat switch around there. So next job on the list, that is clean. Look how clean that's come up. That is it's not perfect by a mile, but it's so much better than it was this morning. So I'm going to get these trims in, the one across the head, and then put the seats back in. Right, so first trims I'm getting on are going to be these top pieces here again. So yeah, why not? Let's do it. There we go. There we go. Looking good. Right, seats. Let's get driver's seat in first. Whew. See how well this goes. Well, I've missed the bolts. Are we on? That was easy. Let's get that bolted in. So all I'm trying to do is just tighten these on. I don't know, I won't get much good footage of this, but I'm just going to tighten these on. I'll be right back. Right, so now I'm going to get that handbrake back in, and it was 5 turns, I remember correctly. So let's get it set back up. I have to give that a little bit of a knob clean. Sweet. Right, so let's get that back on. That was just 2 little nuts. So I'll grab them. Ooh. Right, let's get them bolts on. That is already looking so much cleaner and better. I'm gonna plug that in. Sweet. Right, that was my socket. Wrong one. Sweet, that's on. I'm sure it's this little socket now, because we're gonna have to set this again, so that needs to go up through there. There we go. So now we're going to get the black nut and black washer, which is here, and that's going to go on. We've got to go down, so it's 5 threads down basically. Sweet. Should just Sweet. Looking good, and that seat is now solid. Right, today is the day we're actually going to be cutting into the side of this van to fit the windows. I've got 2 rear windows, I've got a window for the sliding door, and I've got a window for the driver's side, and that one's a sliding window that's opening. I've ordered all the windows from Camperglass UK. I've got the fitting kits here, I've got the U-trims here, and I've got the actual windows here, so there's nothing more to it but to do it. Let's go. So the first job I'm actually going to be doing is I've got to take these, I don't have to take them off. That's a good point actually, I don't need to take them off. No, I do need to take them off. I'm going to take these brackets off, so to do that all I'm going to do is drill out these rivets. This one's got 6 in, that one's got about 10 in, so I'm just going to give it a go. Tell you what, it'd help if I had a big enough bit. There we go. Might have to just grind them off in a bit. And now I just want the same for this side. This one's going to be a bit different because it's got the lock the other side, and the reason I'm removing it is because the window's going to go over where the lock was. And if you're wondering why I'm starting on the back doors rather than the side, my logic is if I mess it up, it's easier to replace a back door, isn't it? There we go. Nice bit of horrible residue, eh? Gotta hope that lock comes off. I might have to drill them a bit more actually. Drill them full. There we go. And the lock is now off. So the one problem I had was filling these holes like we've got on here, but what I'm thinking, my dad pointed the obvious answer out, is to simply get a piece of metal and rivet it back on in the same hole. So that is what we're going to be doing. Now that is off. Just got to try and get them rivets out. Sort the face of it out now. Face of it's priority, so we need to sort of get them rivets out and clean that up. Looking good. Right, so I'm going to keep all the parts for this lot because somebody will buy it. And yes, I'm going to clean this face up, get them clean, and then we can start cutting. These are the windows from Camperglass, and they just testing the fit before I actually start cutting. And yeah, they're gonna look absolutely mint. Get my GoPro on so you can see what I'm doing. So basically, to start to cut out for these windows, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill in these 4 corners. Well, say I'm going to drill in these 4 corners. Yeah, I'm going to drill in these 4 corners right the way through, and yeah, I'm going to do it with a hole saw. So I've been to Screwfix this morning and I've got myself a 57mm hole saw and just a bit for cutting it, and I'm going to drill out these corners with a hole saw just to make it as easy as possible when I go around with the jigsaw, because when you go in the corners, obviously the blade heats up, it can snag, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So just to reduce that risk, I'm just going to cut them with a hole saw. So before I actually drill the holes, I'm going to mark in the corner where this hole saw is going to sit, and all I'm going to do with that is just put a bit of masking tape on and just mark it with a Sharpie, and then I'll pre-drill it, then I can go in with the hole saw and it's going to be a lot safer. So to mark it up, all I'm going to do is stick a bit of this masking tape in each corner, just so it'll help me see the mark. So all I'm going to do is get the hole saw and I'm just going to sit it in the corner where it wants to be, and that centre, well, easier than it looks, I'm just going to go in and draw a nice little centre circle. It should be, I'm going to double check it as well, it should be in line with the centre of this hole saw. No, is it tech? So do you know what, I've got a better idea. I'm going to take the hole saw and just put a little dent with the centre bit. So that's the centre hole marked. So all I'm going to do is just get my Sharpie and just put a little dot so I can see it. So I want a little dot there, one there, one there, and one there. Ace, nice. Drilling. That is a horrible job to do. And all I'm doing is just pushing lightly and just letting the bit cut. That is the worst feeling in the world. Honestly. Let's have a look at that from the outside. Oh my god, that looks horrible. Let's cut more. Right, let's get the hole saw on it. I'm debating whether doing the hole saw from the outside. But I went and picked a brand new hole saw up. It's just a Bosch Pro bimetal one. I went and picked a brand new one up because I don't want it snagging. Oh. You know what they say, no time like the present, so should we do it? That's not a nice feeling. That's really not a nice feeling. Let's do the other ones. That looks horrific. You know what? I might just leave it like that now. No, so basically now I've got to go from the inside and cut round with my jigsaw to join all of them up, and then we're going to be left with just a little margin to glue. This is horrible. So my method to cut these, I'm going to be using my jigsaw with a fine tooth Bosch metal bit in it. But before I do that, I need to put some protective film over the bottom of this because I don't fancy the big panel dropping down. All I'm going to use for this is I got some, it's just some thin polyester roll from Screwfix. So I'm just going to tape some of that across this bottom door. So first I'm just going to put a bead of the masking tape across the bottom of my door here. As if we can get that to stick. Ace. For this next part, you're just going to want some of this film. I'm going to pull out just a strip of it that I think is long enough, cut that off, and then when you unfold this, it is 2 meters wide. So we should be able just to unfold it and drape it down. You're going to want a really sharp knife for cutting this stuff. It's like cutting a really little carrier bag. So I'm going to unfold this. It is. I don't know if this is the same as the body, the car body stuff, because I know what you use for spraying cars, that stuff becomes basically, like, it's, I don't know, like some statically charged. And that's just so it helps stick to the panel. So I'm going to put that round there. Yeah, it is somewhat sticking, to be fair. I'm just going to tape that top piece on again. And we're going to go over the masking tape we put on before. There we go. I might even just pull that across, tape it onto there, but let's make sure that's on. And I'm just going to put a piece of tape holding it in place, just so it doesn't go anywhere. Now that door's protected, we can start the process of cutting it. So the plan is I'm going to go across the top first, and then I'm going to masking tape down to hold this panel in place so it won't drop when I cut across the bottom. So saying that, I might actually shut the door and cut it from the inside. Reason being, if the door's not going to wobble, it's not going to move then, is it? Because it's going to be locked in. So that's the route I'm going to take if there's enough space. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's the route I'm going to take, I think. And I'm going to take the GoPro off my head and get a video shot from inside and outside. Defenders on, because this is going to be noisy. I might just try and cut this straight first, if I'm honest. Not gonna. Do you know what? It's actually gonna be a pain to get in with. Just take the boot off. That's one way of doing it. Right, I'm gonna take that from the outside. All I'm doing now is just preventing the panel from dropping when I cut this bottom out. Nice. And that is part of my van. Or was part of my van. I've got a big hole. Hello. Take that off, and now we've got to sort of grind this edge back and get it so it fits. I'm going to faff about with this, so bear with me. That bottom looks pretty good, so I need a way of removing this basically. Looking good. That's right, we've got that this quarter cut out. We've just got to get the harder bit now. is going to be this top, because I can't really, I haven't got anything to scrape it off like that. I'll tell you what, it's not easy, is it this? Bloody not easy. Right, so just have a look if I can get the jigsaw in. Right, that's cut. Right, it's cut. It might not be the prettiest job in the world, but it is in fact done. So I'm just going to get a bit of sandpaper by hand, just go around it, and then take this masking tape off and give it a clean. Clean that off a little bit. And now I've given this all a little dusting. All I've done, so I don't scratch the paint, is just got a really, really light brush, just a detailing brush, and just pretty much gone around, just wiped off any loose bits of metal. So I'm going to get this U-trim on now, and then once I've got the U-trim on, and give it a bit more of a clean and start prepping to fit the window. So basically this U-trim, as you see, it's like the shape of a U. It's a bit of rubber trim and it's got like some metal in it. So basically all I need is the inside to finish nice, and I'm going to finish that in the middle at the bottom. So to put it on, you've got to put it over the inside and the outside and sort of like walk it on, if that makes any sense, from what I've seen anyway. And this just fills the void. So like that, and then sort of just walk it on. If that makes any sense. I'm just going to go all the way around the window. So let's do that. All I'm going to do is just go around with my rubber mallet, just make sure it's on. And then we're going to snip it off, flush with that, we can snip it off with like a pair of wire snips. You just want something that's relatively sharp and pretty heavy duty. Just make sure it's got a pretty decent finish on the bottom. Get the back, and there we have it. That is one of them rubber trims on. So next to be prepping the window, holding it up and just making sure it fits. And we've got a very thin amount that we can actually glue. So I'm going to go brush this off again, get the window, and we'll try it on. All I'm just wiping that with is a bit of brake cleaner. Just want to get that nice, clean, grease-free as we can, basically. Oh, I'm recording for a second. So I'm going to get the window and just offer it up and see how it looks. So here I've got the window, and all I'm going to do is just offer it up because I want to see how it sits. So obviously when this goes on, I'm going to be aiming to get the gap the same all the way around and have this middle bit nice and straight. There's that one dropping, that one coming up. I know some people do pack them on, but I'm going to just try and manoeuvre it. That looks like it's going to look pretty damn good. So I'm going to get this window set up on some trestles. We'll start getting it all prepped. All I've done there is just drawn around the inside so I can see where that trim sits. So now I know where that trim sits, I can start prepping the window and the door and gluing. And do you know what I didn't do? I didn't put primer around this edge, so I'm going to take this off, put some primer on, and put the bead back on. Tell you what, that grip's good. There we go. We know that's already cut for the next one. So now I've got this primer that came with the window fitting kit. Just going to shake that up, a little metal ball on it, open it up, and all I'm going to do is just go around and put nice thin bead. Wow, that is dark. That's just absolutely jet black. From what I've seen, you want to dab it in, and then on the way out you want to just work it round so you don't get runs, basically. I'm just going to go all around this edge nice and lightly so I don't get runs, like I've already got. Get nice and light like that. Just any bare metal that's showing. So now put that down and we'll put the bead back on. Now let's get that bead back on without getting primer everywhere. That's the way to do it. Right, primer's on. Right, so all I've done here is I've just put some masking tape and I've folded it over, because when I put the window in, I'm going to fold the masking tape down just to hold the window in place. So I've got the window set up on the bench here. I've got my pencil mark of where the bead comes to. So I'm going to go round, put a bead of primer around, let that dry. I'm going to put a little bead, same on the door, and then we can actually get to gluing it and fitting it in place. So I'm going to do my best for videos. Yeah. So before I go with the primer, I'm going to get some glass primer wipes. I'm going to do this quick and then run over there and wipe this quick, because these dry out really quick. So it's just basically just brake cleaner on them. Now I'm just going to come around and put some primer around here. From what I've read, you want to start on the sides just in case it decides to run. Just get around that lock, because I'm going to have to glue around that so it doesn't leak. Start on the sides and the top, because then if you get any streaks, at least you can sort of catch them. Sweet. Right, a bit of primer now. Right, so we're going to get the glue on. Get these little gloves on, eh? Just help out a bit, I think. Probably should have put them on with the primer, but hey ho. Living we learn, eh? Got to do this in one bead effectively, so do that on one bead, and that is some thick stuff, Jesus. Let's go, new time out the present. Oh my god. Swap hands for a minute. Oh. Now that is the toughest bead of silicone I've ever put on in my life. Oh. There's absolutely no time out the present, so that looks pretty good to me. It's one continuous bead. Yeah, I say we go for it. Somewhat line it up. Right. So now I need to get this line nice and straight, but also I need to make sure that the window itself has got nice even margins. Let's go up a little bit. Right, let's go up. That's nice and straight on there. Back edge one's going up a little bit. Push that on. Looks like a nice even gap across the bottom. Oh god, I've got the bloody primer everywhere. That's going to be an absolute pain to get off. Big time, but to me, that looks okay. I never want to do that again, but I've got another 3 to do, so best get cracking. Right, I'm going to give a go at taking this off, I think. Get that in the bin. Right, so the first window is now in and glued, just waiting for that to go off. So what I'm going to do now is start getting the second window in. I'm not going to video the process as intensely, but I've got my GoPro on the floor and that's going to be doing a time lapse. So let's get going. Right, have a look at that. Both of them windows are in, and that's the most stressful job I've ever done. I've got the harder ones now because I've got the bigger windows. I'm going to do the sliding door one, and then possibly tomorrow do the one with the actual slide in it, depending on how long it takes me to do this. So yeah, I'm very proud. Check them out. They look mint. So the next job on my list is to get the window into this panel. This is also going to be a fixed window, and then there's going to be one on the opposite side that's going to have a slide on it. So I don't think I have time to do that one today, but this one I'm going to make a start at. So first thing, I'm going to get these locks off, same as before, and start drilling this panel out. Right, so all the windows are now fitted, and the next step's going to be soundproofing and insulation. Then before we can carpet it, got to get the electric, swivel base in, stuff like that. So really productive day. We've got the sliding window on the driver's side, 2 fixed for the barn doors on the back, and we've got a fixed on the passenger side on a sliding door. One thing I can spot, that one's a white spoiler across it, and that'll look absolutely mint. So really busy day. I'm going to crack on and have my tea. Right, that is going to be it for this week's video. I completely forgot to film an outro. So I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned, there'll be another video, same time, next week. And if you don't already, drop me a follow on all the socials if you want to follow along for the journey. See you in a bit.